And welcome to Cherokee Now. Today we have EBCI Commerce Secretary Mickey Duvall on the show to update us on several projects that are currently happening around the boundary. We're excited to hear about some economic potential there, Mickey. Tell us a little bit about what's happening.
Well, Chris, thank you for having me on today, by the way. And very excited about a lot of things. The first thing I'm highly excited about is the Adventure Park that we're working on. That's moving right on down the road. We are into the design type phase now, where we're getting ready to get the documents to move to tribal council, to go to the bank, for Corey to go to Corey, our finance secretary, to go to the bank for our money for that park. But I think as you look at the water park, adventure park concept, it's been Chief Snead's main theme throughout his administration is to diversify the economy, to wean the tribe off gaming. And we feel like that if we can get this water park on the ground and running, that it will bring families back to Cherokee. It is a rising tide that will lift all ships. It'll lift our retail. It'll lift downtown. It'll be a catalyst for our diversification of the tribe. It's a great project. It's a large project. The long blanket track out from the hospital, just above the theater, is the site that's been chosen. We've done an environmental assessment on the site, which will be incorporated into the designs that Tom Pientka is doing. Tom Pientka was one of the first, we call him the father of the water park industry. He built the first Kalahari and Great Wolf up in Wisconsin Dells, owns Key Lime Cove. He's worked with Jeff Lococo. Jeff just finished the Camelback project, a large water park that's just opened, and Jeff has committed to come and run the water park for us he said he'd like to be here 10 years. So we've got the best in the business to do this, to make sure it don't flop. We can't flop. We have to spend enough money on our water park to be able to compete with Charlotte and other water parks around. We're using the word Cherokee Adventure Water Park because it'll be more than just a water park. And I think I've given you a fly-through for the folks to look at, and some renderings of the water park that you can feature as we talk today.
Yeah, and as we chat, we'll play that over the top of it so that folks can kind of get an idea of what this design is going to look like. Now, what else? What are some of the other features of the adventure park?
Well,
it is more than
the
just
main
water.
features that set it apart is zip lining, rock climbing. It'll have a wave pool that resembles rapid water, such as the Nantahala River. It'll have a lazy river for folks like me that really don't want to get in the rapid
just want to kick
water.
Back.
And it'll have a kids area. There'll be some restaurants throughout the park, the water park, and then also a hotel that is going to be pushing around 500 rooms. So that'll help our hotel situation in Cherokee. So we see that it'll have elements of a lot of things.
Now, what happens when you create that anchor attraction like that is you're able to expand then with more retail and more restaurant and dining, fine dining around.
That's correct, and we're looking at a total project that bleeds down behind the theater down to 441, and we're calling that the Heritage Park area, where we will kind of develop with Tom a Heritage Park retail entertainment area that's kind of a walking area back through across Hospital Road to the water park. We may have to create some over-the-road bridges there to get pedestrians back and forth, but we've got a great anchor in the theater, and then as we start to develop the elementary school side, of which we've got several large-scale retailers interested now in getting that site developed once the water park gets started. So we're looking at a major node of economic activity there, along 441 and along Hospital Road and along Blanket Track.
Absolutely.
As we look at that project. But I hope the folks can see from the maps that we delivered to you today, the Heritage Park, where it fits with the theater and also blends into the water park very well.
Absolutely. Well, that's exciting. What are some other pieces that you're working on that your program's developing?
Another thing that we're proud of, and Mr. Jacob Reed, our financial analyst over in Commerce, has done a great job in getting the tribally chartered LLC through. And this will absolutely help diversify our economy in another way, away from the casino. It'll allow us to form a separate entity that can engage in contracting and other forms of businesses that the EBCI itself is not designed to operate. Some of this will include investing in business opportunities, creating startup enterprises, and possibly engaging in Section 8A contracting with the federal government, which we get preference. And just last year, just for a note, last year we lost well, I shouldn't say lost, but we had the opportunity to procure $25 million just at Oak Ridge across the mountain in preferential contracting for Indian tribes. Now with the LLC, once that's on the board, we'll be able to take advantage of that.
To compete for those contracts, those government contracts.
That's right. And right now, the way the law is and where we're at is we have to get 5 board members on the board of directors. They serve 5-year staggered terms. The tribe will provide initial cash investment in the company once the board's determined and the amount needed through the strategic planning process. So we're in the infant stages, but we're starting to crawl, and I think by the end of the year we'll start to run a little
We'll start
bit.
to put this board together. We'll start to create some kind of a strategic plan for where we can invest these monies. And I'm assuming it's in a lot of areas. I know other Indian tribes, they invest in fuel, maybe a fuel gas station, some in energy, some in agriculture, and all over the board there are opportunities to create business for a tribe, owned by the tribe, but not necessarily operated by the tribe. I guess it creates an asset division and protection for a tribal entity versus the business sector.
It does, and it marries very well with what we're trying to do over in enterprise development, which is an arm of commerce with Gloria Griffin's shop there. Gloria is enterprise development. They've just received a grant from EDA for almost $70,000 to explore the incubator concept for Indian businesses. And then Sabrina Arch actually holds around 3 to 4 Indianpreneurship classes each year. So this marries very well with what we're trying to do with 8A and government enterprises as tribal members start to try to create businesses on their own, and we try to work with them within that arena.
And let's speak to the fundamental root issue with this. We got to get some kids, some college students to go to school and learn some STEM and some science and technology.
That's right. Science, technology has to be learned, and again, I think this will enable us to keep tribal members here that graduate in those disciplines rather than them migrating out off the tribe to Charlotte, Atlanta, Knoxville, other areas because they can't find a job. So I think this LLC does a lot of things for us and marries a lot of things together that has been just disjointed over the years.
It certainly opens a lot of doors for a lot of different folks on the boundary and our neighboring neighborhoods here, as well as building us a foundation of educated, young, enrolled members to come and create and take advantage of these opportunities to build this up for our people and future generations to come.
That's exactly right. And we have, don't forget about the Sequoia Fund. We have a great entity there that can start for business startup, entrepreneurial startup businesses, partnering with Western Carolina University and Southwestern Community College as well.
Now, some of these 8A contracts and even some government contracts that aren't 8A, we're talking billions of dollars. Is that something that
we really are? And Indian tribes get preference on bidding.
That's what the 8A process entails.
Right. So we're leaving a lot of money on the table just by not having our LLC in place. We're rapidly putting it in place.
So somewhere down the road, we're looking potentially at creating manufacturing again, or assembly, or something where we may be able to put that together and put our people to work in a lot of different areas, from management all the way down to just day laborers that can assemble or work on pieces, and high science. So I'm excited about that. That's good.
That's right. And you look at Oak Ridge, a high-tech nuclear facility. Those contracts will be dealing with highly technicalized operations of equipment and manufacturing.
Right. So we better get our kids to school right now.
Get
them learning this stuff, because we want to take advantage of that. There's a lot of money there, and there's a lot of opportunity for our tribe to grow and have a income revenue stream right there through those processes and those contracts.
Yes, sir.
Well, great. Well, are there any other updates that you have? Or?
Well, I do. I want to talk a little bit about the development of the SEDS process. It'll be coming up pretty soon, and we know SEDS has to be done by the Economic Development Administration every 5 years. I think SEDS this year is going to give us, and Doug Cole heads that process up. Doug and I kind of team up on that, but our last SEDS was done several years ago, and it gives tribal council a chance, and the chief's office and vice chief's office, a chance to come together in a room and rank the projects that are out there, the potential projects. And just for an example, on the last SEDS, the projects that were ranked and they'll change, of course. This has been done 5 years ago.
Okay.
But some of those were the Adventure Park was up there. Elementary school parcel was up there. We've started both of those now. A water archive center, pool and beach, Cherokee Crossing, bowling alley. Some of those we can check off. Snowbird Lodge, former high school site, Riverside Campground, wildlife attraction. So as we start to check these things off, we put new projects up there on the SEDS list that looking out in the future that we'd like to tackle.
Right.
And this year we're going to do something a little different. As we start to look at funding, and I know Chief Snead has been very instrumental in leading the tribe down the road that we want to watch where we spend our money and diversify.
Right.
And make sure these projects are will lead to diversification. So this year we're going to tie money to each one of those projects. We'll tie a rough figure.
Okay.
So when you look at it,
so as you prioritize it, you can kind of see how we can match these.
You'll not only be prioritizing the project, but you'll be prioritizing the financing for the project.
Okay. Good. Well, that's exciting.
Also, we are moving forward with, and you do have some pictures there as well that I sent you to play as far as the expansion of the museum and the archives facility. As we put that committee together, the chief has signed a letter and created a committee, and that committee will be meeting very soon. Obviously, next week's not a good week for our committee to meet because of the Indian Fair, but as the fair settles down and we get back into, as I say, back in the saddle again, the following week we'll start to meet that committee with all the stakeholders, and the stakeholders will expand as we get into the project. But that's going to be a great project as we expand the museum. We repatriate a lot of the Cherokee artifacts from Ravens Ford that's currently being held in Florida and other places back to Cherokee, and then we also create an area for a parking garage there that will service not only the museum, the archives, the ceremonial grounds, but also some of the businesses in that immediate area.
Absolutely.
So that's a great project that I look forward to implementing. Also, we're in the process, Chris, of updating the EBCI commerce profile.
Okay.
We do that each year to attract some of these retail developers that are interested in things like the elementary school site and some of these things. So, that takes a lot of time because we take a hard look at demographics and some of the areas that we have to look at as far as employment, median income, that type thing. Also, we're in the process of updating the EBCI land schematic plan.
Okay.
I think that's really important. We're working with Tribal Realty to identify parcels that are great commercial parcels because eventually we're going to run out of land in the mountains. And so we have to do that, and we're working with them to update our land schematic plan. So when we go to places like the International Council of Shopping Centers, we will be there in Atlanta next month meeting with the retailers of the South and trying to get them to come to Cherokee and sell Cherokee. We will be able to show them particular tracts of property, whether they be tribal or possessory owner tracts that are commercial, that they can come and build and develop on.
And build that base up. That's good.
Cameron Cooper's also done a great job with, he's a retail development specialist, done a great job with the Waste to Energy grant. And if the next grant that we apply for with the Waste to Energy is successful, and I have no reason to doubt it won't be, we will have received $891,220. Now that's pure money to us on Waste to Energy. And that's us being able to turn used tires into fuel that can be used by the tribe, or we can sell off to other entities, and it would be a great thing to put under the tribal LLC enterprise. Also, the DOE grant that we received for $1 million to establish a solar farm out near Valley River Casino that will offset some of those electrical costs. Of that casino. So Cameron's done a great job on those two projects, and I wanted to give him kudos today.
Awesome. Well, good work, guys. I'm excited about your program. You guys are doing some wonderful work, and we're going to have you back on the show soon to talk about updates on these projects, and as we move forward through the year to give the public some information on what we're doing and anything new that has come along, especially with the SEDS reorganizing of the priorities there. It'd be great to have that updated from time to time.
Great, Chris.
Good. Well, we appreciate you being on the show. And
enjoyed being here.
Thank you for spending some time with us. We'll return shortly to update these. And if you have any questions regarding Cherokee Now, check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/Cherokee Now. Leave us a review. Let us know what you think about the show. And if there's anybody you'd like to see on there, please give us a message. Thank you for listening. We'll see you again very soon.